Hello, and welcome to another episode. It is lovely seeing you. My name is Dasha,
And I'm Diana.
and in today's episode, we're going to talk about
Advocating for yourself. And
getting what you want.
what happened?
Well, when you advocate for yourself, you get what you want.
It's advocating for yourself and kind of like
Yes.
standing up for yourself. And I actually strongly believe in advocating for yourself in the workplace, at home, in society, asking for more money when a raise. Like, although I've
And
not worked in corporate.
we as women don't do it enough. And why is it that we don't do it enough, especially in work environments, um, when it comes to asking for a raise or when it comes to a new project? Uh, we just don't do it. Why?
Um, I guess we're not like socialized to do it. I think today's youth is more socialized to advocate for themselves than perhaps our generation. Like we walked so they could run.
But they are
And
unable to handle any.
that's true too. Women want to be nice and kind. There's all different kinds of women. I'm really good at doing the work, but when it comes to business, I am not as assertive with naming my price. Um, Even though the standard is much higher, right? Why? Maybe I'm insecure. There's so many different things of like why you don't ask for the price that it's worth.
So I read an incredible book that I highly recommend to everyone. So I read an incredible book. It's called Play Like a Man, Win Like a Woman by Gail Evans, and I'm going to put a link to it, which I thought was absolutely incredible. She actually touches upon as to why is it that as women don't advocate for ourselves enough. And that is because when we're growing up, we are not put in those kind of situations where we have to. So with boys, they play in sports. When you play in sports, you have to advocate for yourself or you're never
Right.
getting picked. And you're always like, hey, coach, pick me, pick me. And if the coach doesn't pick you, you don't think it's personal. You just sit there and you're like, okay, I didn't get picked. I'm going to get picked next time. And you're constantly dealing with rejection, but you're constantly putting yourself out there. And like asking to get things done, to move forward. So she said there's a huge difference between the way that men are grow up. For us, it's more about friendships and being kind to one another, and we are softer. And that's not something that's taught. So we feel like if we're advocating for ourselves, perhaps we might offend others, or we're scared that they're going to say no, and then we're going to take it personally. The book is really incredible. I think
Yeah,
that
I
every
Googled it. I
woman
will buy it.
needs to read it.
There's the need to be liked, but I feel like when you're in a business setting, that has to go out the window. Like if you're already climbing the career path, I would, but okay, there's all different kinds of personalities, right? And
Yeah.
so when I was in the corporate game, it is like, yes, you work hard, but also are you going out for drinks afterwards? Who are you friends with? It's not the person who does the best PowerPoint who is moving up. It's the person who knows everyone, who everyone likes. So that personality who's shy, who's doing all the work, may be too shy to ask for a raise. Why is that person too shy? Because you're just like raised that way.
You're scared that you're gonna get a no.
When I was working, which is 20 years ago, I stopped working in my 30s. Like
Not no more because Diana's got a job.
I do have a job. I do have a job. Um, I am freelance building Squarespace websites and I'm helping you shine online. And I'm using 20 years of experience from the jobs that I had from writing digital media, Google Analytics, blah, 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 to help hopefully psychiatrists and psychologists and, wellness workers and people who freak out about tech.
A little plug-in. We're gonna insert a little plug-in for Diana's
Yes,
business.
thanks. Unexpected, but I love that you had the buzzer ready. Yes, shimmy. Woo! No, I'm so happy and excited. You might notice my shine is a little um shinier. But thank you. What were we talking about? So when I was in my 20s and the career path, um, I would study up on asking for more money. So, like, I knew that women asked for less. So I would always ask for more. I would always negotiate. If I know you need me, I'm going to go high. It's just a conversation. I'm not scared. Um, that's how I was then. Right? Circumstances change. It's not now. People are like, employment is not that way. So I don't know how I'd be now, but I feel like with my clients, I'm like, there's so much competition out there. I'm going to be fair. I'm not going to ask for what I think my 20 years of experience, because it's a new experience being a new freelancer.
You are not advocating for yourself. So 20 years of experience is not enough.
Well, I don't have a portfolio of Squarespace websites that I built. I don't have
Okay.
case studies of the now. I
Mhm.
have recommendations of the people I've worked with. So I'm confident enough to say, hey, like, I'd love to jump on a call with you. Let's talk, right? But we'll get there. I'm confident.
I myself struggle with this, where I always feel like, oh, this is too much, or I shouldn't be doing this. And I have a perfect example of how I was sending out a proposal, and I thought to myself, oh, they're going to say no. And I automatically was going to say, hey, let's go 50-50 because this proposal would also benefit me as the company. Um, and the client. They wanted us to develop something that we weren't currently offering. And then I stepped back and I said, what are you doing? Why are you already doing this?
Right.
Let them come back to you and say, no, let's do 50-50, or no, let's do 60-40. And then I'm going to reply and then we're going to negotiate. Well, guess what? I said, hell no. And I just sent
Nice.
it the way it is. And they replied and they're paying for the whole thing.
Nice. Good.
And
Yay.
if I would have already had that thinking where, no, it's too much, and I didn't advocate for myself and my services, I would have gotten a lot less money. And now they agreed and we're moving forward. So it's just, you always have to sort of get yourself out of it and say, no, I'm
Yes.
worth this. And I'm worth this when it comes to your work. And I'm worth this when it comes to your personal life and when it comes to your household. I
Yeah.
am, I'm not going to do all this. Why am I doing all this? We're in this together. You're not going to
Correct.
babysit your own kids. They're your kids.
They're your kids too. This is your fault. I was not able to do this myself. Yes, yes, and yes. It is important, all of those things. And a lot like personalities are shy. Our husbands react well for our advocation. And I think about work. Yes, you should advocate for to get paid what you're worth, right? Client based. That's manifestation. Don't interfere with your own things, like get out of your own way. So I'm constantly having to get out of my own way. And sometimes I need help. It's just pushing me out of my own way. And that's what everyone needs to be reminded. I'll talk about advocating for yourself in a health environment. There's no wheelchair access somewhere. What are you going to do?
Oh,
Petition
girl,
the
you are,
goddamn
you
city.
are.
And I'll tell you why. This is a real story. When I was working on my counterpane 10 years ago, it was about people sharing their story. And this guy, John, petitioned the city to make a wheelchair pathway to the beach. Because why should he not be able to enjoy the beach because he's in a wheelchair? If you see something, say something. Sometimes people are in their own world. They're not trying to be mean. They just didn't think about it because they don't have that issue.
Yes, and going back to what you said, if you don't advocate for yourself, you don't get what you want. What it comes down to, you have to know what you want in order to advocate for yourself,
Yeah.
right?
What do you
You have to
want?
know what you like and you have to be able to make a decision.
Right.
You have to be in tune with what is going on internally to be able
Yeah,
to say what's going to help you.
that's true. I haven't said this in so many episodes, but therapy helps that. Therapy helps exploring why you're so mad all the time. Sometimes just saying something out loud for a person to know. I advocate for myself all the time at home, right? Oh, I do crazy things at home that would probably really annoy you if your partner did them. But I'm like, wait, I have ADHD. Stop asking me why this is there. You should know by now why this is here. Like we have sugar in a mason jar. I'm constantly putting a mason jar upside down, like not correctly. I don't put things away. I
Wait,
try
you
my
put the
best.
mason jar upside down. Why? Because it's easy. Why do
Like
you
the
do
lid,
that?
I just like don't realize it that,
Oh,
like
but all right,
like
but you
little
close
things.
it. But you close it, do you not?
Sometimes if I don't
All
like
right, so you just
walk
put it
into
on
another
there.
room. Yeah.
All right, but it's on
So
there. I mean, I don't understand. What are we, perfectionists over here?
exactly. Like I don't always close the cabinet. And especially now that I'm a working woman, like I can't be expected to do
No, you're doing
everything.
a million things at once. You have two
No,
jobs right now, girl.
that's right. And I still have to
Three.
like cook dinner. I'll do that. But a lot of people who do have like limited spoons, they feel bad. And to that I say don't.
Okay.
There's a woman who I know who she's like, I don't have to work, but I do. And this is my play money. She hired a house manager because she doesn't want to do any of the stuff that house managers do. I'm sure she advocated for herself with her husband to make her life a dream.
Well, she also self-advocated for herself with her husband.
With her husband, with her job, play money.
She self-advocated for herself by choosing that kind of husband.
Yeah,
So
sure. She
good
picked.
for her because her self-advocating started way before. So,
That's true. Her home was so beautiful. Yes, good for her. I was like, praise be, queen, to you. Well,
they
I
can't
would be
think.
mad. I would
No,
be
I
like,
don't
are
think you can.
you a front door idiot? You couldn't go get takeout? Why are you hanging out with my sister in the middle of the day? Why don't you have a job? Why aren't you going to work? Why couldn't you make me a sandwich? What, you're not there with me when we eat dinner, lunch all the time? Like, you couldn't process a thought? And then I would go on and on and on about that until he threatened divorce, and then I'd reel it back.
Hmm.
Toxic episode. I never said I
I don't.
wasn't.
I don't know if I. I don't know if we'll see with keeping those parts in. I don't know. Can we go back to advocating? We need to have something.
Okay, to remove the girl, like let's
Yeah,
remove
yeah, that's
well,
fine. That's fine. Something about mental health. Yeah.
I think advocating for yourself starts with confidence. If you're not confident, that takes baby steps.
If when you feel off, when you think you're in perimenopause and you go to doctors and they just blow you off and they tell you, well, it's just you getting older.
Right.
You have to self advocate and say, no, I need you to run tests or I need to know this because I feel that something's going on.
Yeah, that's definitely important. And also important, doctors are human beings too. They're seeing a lot of
Mm.
patients. They're human too. And it's not like you're like, I don't trust you, doctor.
Yeah.
You are the expert. Like I always start like, I know you're the expert. However, in my experience, like the blood work, remember, like the lady like destroyed my veins because she like didn't listen to me, right? And I'm like, I get you're the RN, like wonderful, but hello. And so that's a lesson for her to learn. Next time I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive because now I have experience. If I have to do a CAT scan and they're going to want to do through my arm, I'll be like, no,
No, good for
no,
you. Yeah, you got.
don't do because I have that experience now.
Hmm.
So I think experience is just you get so mad that you're like, I'm going to try to be different. I'm going to try to speak up for myself.
So, in a way, the self advocating
Self love.
is self love. It's healing that it's becoming your own parent, not your own parent, but
Yeah.
becoming your own.
Hero, cheerleader.
Yes.
And sometimes that means annoying and hurting other people. You are going to annoy the doctor. You're going to annoy him. He's going to look at you like you're trash. But you got to keep it going. You got to keep it going or find a new doctor.
This doesn't mean that you're disrespecting anyone. It just means that you know what your inner girl needs. So if you're walking around upset, you need to sit down and think, why are you upset? What is it that's really bothering you? Why are you always upset at work? Is it because everyone else does less than you and makes more? Or is it, and if that's the case, then
Right.
you do something about it.
Yeah, I feel like you have to optimize the situation. Like if if there's a different way and then you keep doing the same thing, um like I'll just speak about myself. Like I would just be mad at myself if you keep repeating the same action. Maybe you just haven't had the wow moment, that click moment,
Well, either you're repeating the same action or you're not making the action,
right?
or you're just living through it, allowing the years to go by, and inside you get more and more depressed and sad because things are the same and nothing is changing, but nothing is changing because you're not doing anything about it.
Right. Nothing changes if nothing changes.
It's the most simplest thing. That's genius. Yes, just like
No,
it is what it is. It's my favorite saying. It
it
is what
is
it
what it
is. It's my
is.
favorite saying.
I mean, it is what it is, right? As an overthinker and an overly emotional person, I'm speaking to my people right now that, you know, it takes me a long time to get over something and for me to see a different way. But there has to be a shift in perspective at some point. Maybe you don't like that. Like you're saying, like you have to be in tune with yourself. I personally love to lie to myself. I tell stories and I believe them. And then
Okay.
I need you to unwind it. We've had those talks, right? And not everyone has that.
Mm,
Not everyone has that good friend who's gonna be like, you're talking crazy. That's not true. You
yeah.
know?
Or you are worth it. Because that's really what it comes down to. It's either you're talking crazy, that's not true, or you thinking that, well, nothing's going to change, or they're going to say no, or I shouldn't do it. And then what happens if they say no?
But that's such a hopeless feeling. When people are in that hopeless place where like it's just darkness and light and they don't see a way out. They don't even know where to begin. So where would you say to begin? Like a person doesn't advocate for themselves. They're not assertive. They don't move quick enough. Well, because they're probably depressed. They're not making moves. What would you say is the first step? My first step, go to therapy. What if you can't afford therapy? What should a person do?
Get friends that are
It's hard. It's
yeah, I get it.
hard.
I get it. Not stand in your own way. And I don't
So
know
what's the
how.
first step in that? If a person is on a carousel of thoughts, it's repetitive thoughts of the same nature. You need
Yeah,
something to like bust you out of that.
I don't know.
Join a gym, go on a walk.
Take supplements.
Okay, so it goes back to how do we get out of the funk to start thinking we're worth it? That's
Yes.
good. Take
Yes.
a walk, that's free. I think it's like a dimmer switch of intensity of emotion.
Yes. What I do is I step out of it and I take all emotions out of it. And when I take the emotions out of it, it's easier
Hmm. Well,
because then all you're doing is dealing with logic. Going back to that example that I gave, why would I already do this? It's business. Why would I offer to make less money?
right, knowing certain facts of the universe. If you are assuming that they don't have money, that's a story that you're telling yourself and
Correct.
it's not based in reality.
It's it's purely business without any emotion.
Right.
And as much as I try to take emotion out of it, it creeps in. So I need to reel it back and say, this is not my problem. And if they come back, then we negotiate and it is what it is. And the emotions, I think, are our downfall as women.
Duh. Duh. Yeah. It's all the things that we think.
If not for the emotion and if not for us thinking about everything, thinking what's going to happen and over analyzing, what if they say no and then what happens? What do I do? That's what stands in the way, really. The
Yes.
emotions.
I would say my feelings and emotions are 100% the reason uh, anything goes wrong. Oh, and then you have to be like, stop, right? Because like if a person has depression and they're feeling symptoms of depression, which is the way I want to say it, like your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts are like really not your own. You're just like letting your mind control you.
Mhm.
Valid therapy. No shade. So when your mind is controlling you and trying to keep you safe from taking chances in life and putting yourself out there and saving you from embarrassment or fear or failure, right? If you're letting the mind win, you're not going to advocate for yourself because the mind's like, no, don't do it. Don't put yourself in danger. Um, and so, yeah, I guess like first step, I would say if you don't have that friend, make a self help person your friend, Mel Robbins or somebody.
And read that book for sure. That book
There's
is
enough books out there. There's free ways to get support if you want to step out of your mind and your comfort zone if you can't afford a therapist.
yeah, and just realizing again, like you said, if nothing changes, nothing changes. Do you really want to continue living an unhappy life in whichever aspect it is, whether it is in your domestic life, whether it is in business?
Yeah.
Why do you continue being a hamster? Because it really, at the end of the day, we are all hamsters in that wheel, just
I think about that every day. It's an existential question. I'm like, okay, so now this project fell into my hands. My job, this all came together like lightning in a bottle, kind of magical. But before I was like, I guess I'm going to just sit at home. Like, I don't want to do coaching.
can we just go back? You self advocated, and that's why you got this.
I did. The baton was passed to me and I took it and I ran. So, they say, luck is opportunity and being in the right place and being prepared. Well, I'm prepared now. So, yes, I did do it.
Yes, but you also started that conversation. Otherwise, it would have never reached you.
Oh, I talk all the time. I
Right.
tell people what to do all the time.
Advocate. In that
Okay, yeah,
aspect, you
valid.
did.
If you're really going down to it, I do spread knowledge and I do tell for myself all this. Like I am, because I just like want what I want all the time, and I feel like I
So,
should get it.
so that's interesting because you self advocate up to a point.
Yeah, I don't like discomfort, so I like advocate to the level of discomfort, and so now I guess I'm in that learning growth period. So I'm gonna have to like step into the next version.
Hmm.
So once I complete this, I'll be already a new version of myself because I already have that experience. And then I'll take that step up to advocate for that next level.
And that's how this fell into your lap because you are self advocating without even realizing it.
Well, yeah, like you're my friend and you're doing something, I want to help you. And
Hmm.
I know what's right. And I can't just let you do the wrong thing.
Hmm.
I know what's right.
Hmm.
I didn't feel like that with health coaching, you know? I knew
Okay.
what's right, go to therapy, but I'm not the therapist.
Well, it just wasn't, it didn't tickle your pickle, the health coaching.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Look at that.
Yeah. I
Let me
think it's
know.
just like our New York personalities advocate. You're in my way, move.
No, because then all of New Yorkers would advocate for themselves. I
I'm
think
just a
that's
personal
just different.
development person.
It's easy to say move because you don't know the person. Self
Ah,
advocating means you actually have to speak to someone and do an action, and it's face to face versus when you're just in New York
that's
moving
true. That's not a good
past
advocation.
people.
I guess knowing that you're right in something will help you advocate.
It's a really good point. That makes it easy. Going back to you were saying, how do you do it? It's knowing what you bring to the table.
Showing up with research.
It's knowing your self worth. And if you don't know your self worth, then you could do research.
In terms of clients, if your price is a price and they can't afford it, that's more of a statement of them not being able to afford it.
Today's price is not yesterday's
I
price.
know I love saying that. It's my favorite saying. But
No, but
also, there's more of me, so I don't want to say that.
let's go back to the feeling confident, which will then make it easier to for what you want to self
Right.
advocate.
Like allergies.
Allergy?
Everyone has allergies nowadays. You have to
Okay.
advocate with the chef, like a restaurant, be like, no, I have this allergy. I'm gluten free. I'm allergic to peanuts, blah, 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 blah.
I feel like that's an easy one.
Some people are shy.
Really?
I guess so. I
But
don't know.
how are you gonna you're not gonna eat? So I think that what happens more often, for example, I don't eat cheese
Hmm?
and they bring you something with cheese. They would never self advocate. They wouldn't self advocate for themselves and say, hey, I said no cheese. They would feel bad. They would just sit there with the cheese and have the dilemma, do you eat it with the cheese or do you just not eat at all?
That's where my like nice, like, I'm not a Karen personality comes in. I'd be like, I really don't want to trouble you. I'm so sorry. I
But you
know
would
it's
still
not
say
you.
something. You would still,
I wouldn't want to, I don't like to cause a scene or anything. Like if they really put cheese and I'm lactose intolerant, that's effed up. That sucks to the
what if
next
you're not
degree.
lactose intolerant and you just don't want cheese?
If I was like polite through the like beginning and end, I'd be like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm just not having cheese right now. If I had a goal,
It's
like,
not having
so I'm
cheese.
like, really think about it. Cause usually I'm accommodating, like, oh, it's okay. I'll eat it. But if I started a new macro thing,
Yeah,
right? I have to support my own goal because that's
yeah,
my personal development. I can't sabotage my macros and I'm going to be polite about it. Be like, I'm sorry, I asked no
of course.
cheese. So,
Of
yes,
course.
I would.
You would. So I would too. I had this with a coffee. It
Uh,
wasn't even macros. I ordered a vanilla and I was given a caramel.
no, that's wrong.
And I said, I'm so sorry, but I ordered a vanilla. Could I have drank the caramel? Of course. But that's not what I ordered.
And you paid for it.
And I want what I want. And
Yeah,
I
you're
ordered a
polite.
vanilla. I wasn't rude. I wasn't like, how dare you? I ordered a vanilla. Why'd you give me caramel? I said, I'm so
I,
sorry, but I ordered a vanilla. I know people that would just drink it because they wouldn't want to cause a scene, which implies that they don't self-advocate.
I mean, like that situation also varies. Maybe, but at that time you really didn't want to. Maybe a different version of you on a different day would be like, oh, like, okay, like I'll try this. I don't mind. Right? Maybe.
No, I want what I want. I ordered vanilla. Why would I
All
try
right.
caramel? If I would have wanted caramel, I would have ordered
What?
caramel.
Okay. So yeah, I feel like if you're polite about it, yes, I would only accept a drink because I'd be like, I have to talk to them again. I don't want to fucking talk to them again. I will take this drink and go. But sometimes I'm like, I choose violence. I'll be like, hey, excuse me. One time a coffee shop gave me milk instead of oat milk. And I'm like, excuse me, I'm lactose intolerant. I'm going to die. Okay. Like, can you give me oat milk, please? Like, I'm going to, seriously, like, what are you trying to do here? It depends on the mood. But I'm never rude. I'm like nicer. I'm like, I'm sorry to be rude to you right now, but seriously, like, I'm gonna die. I can't drink this. So I try to like infuse, like whimsical personality so they can't really be mad at me. And that's instant. That's training.
That is training. That is training. But you see, look, we self advocate, but we somehow limit ourselves into how much of the self advocating we will do, which I find fascinating. So we're not quite there yet.
We have to be real parents. No, we're adapting. I think we're smart about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're smart. We know what to ask for, when to ask for it, and if you
Mm-hmm.
wanted more, you would have asked for more. You would have figured it out. I think we're at the max advocacy for ourselves. I think the roof has been reached, and if we wanted more, we would build an annex. That I believe.
I would like to get to a point where I don't have to step back and evaluate and take feelings out of when I ask for things.
I don't know. I
That
feel
would be
like
my
that's I
height.
feel like
My
that's
height would
a
be just me, just not even, just,
so
hey,
you're
I don't want,
saying
I asked for vanilla. Like, feelings. It's the feelings that are standing in the way. Get the feelings out before you ask, before you do.
get rid of the story that you've told yourself about how other people are going to react. That's a projection of how you would react. Diana told Diana.
At the end of the day, I ordered a vanilla coffee. There's nothing wrong with me asking for a vanilla coffee. Otherwise, what's the point of ordering? I should have just come up to her and said, hey, give me anything you want.
What's the point of free will if you're not going to ask for what you want? You're right. You didn't do a thing where you turned and they get to pick your coffee.
Correct. Take all the feelings out of it. I ordered what I ordered and I didn't get what I ordered. There's nothing wrong with asking.
Nicely, asking nicely, Dasha.
Of course,
You
of
weren't
course,
like,
of course.
excuse me.
Of course, we're not trying to be assholes here. Now let's talk about this in settings of your household. If you feel like you're doing too much or you feel like you are not being appreciated, you take the feelings out of it. You make a list.
That's true. Exactly.
These are the things that I do. And these are the things that you do. And I would like for this to be balanced. Take emotion out of it when it
Be
comes
like,
to
and if
work. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and if that doesn't please you, partner, I could reduce some of the other things that I do to have the energy to do all of these things. Wink, wink. Toxic wife.
Just in order to get what you want, in order to self advocate, first has to first come from knowing what you want and then taking the emotions out of it. Like for work, asking for a raise, you simply step back, look at your resume, and look at your accomplishments, see what you've brought to the company,
Yes, and people will treat you as you allow them to treat you.
and stop telling stories to yourself of things that haven't happened.
That's anxiety.
Yeah.
I also call that preparation. Thank you very much, Dasha. But um, sometimes anxiety is helpful, I guess, but too much anxiety is not.
Hmm.
Is a non-medical opinion that I have. Sometimes I get anxious and I overthink something and it's valid and it's true. I'm going to find a solution for it. I'm going to fix it, and then sometimes I spiral or people spiral and, need somebody to help you with a solution. In the end, if you want to get what you want, you have to ask for it. That's called advocating for yourself. Build confidence in yourself, listen to yourself. And, it's a journey and a process. And if you're having trouble getting there, just take it one step at a time. Start small with the coffee. That's low stakes, right? Asking the barista to just please replace the coffee. They messed up. Like, why is it so hard?
Why is it
It
so
is
hard?
hard. It has, like, if you're like on a line of Starbucks, I could never have that job. It's very stressful. I will mess up your coffee all the time. I will forget what you ordered. Okay. So I don't want to diminish them, but you should work towards asking for what you want because that's that person's job. They got paid,
That's it.
not
You
a
paid.
favor.
You paid, or your household. You do a lot, and you want to ask for something, go for it. So I hope whoever was listening, if there was something that you wanted to advocate for, whatever it is, I hope you take that step and then you comment on this episode and let us know. The one time
Yes.
that you, from this episode, that you advocated for yourself, as little or as big as it is, because that would be exciting. I hope people walk away.
Yes. Little wins count. Little wins are how you get to the big goal.
That's it. All
So,
right. Till next time.
bye.
Bye.